Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Matt Mudded Let's Play. As usual, starting upstairs with a good overview of our little protected area. Added a few torches and stuff around to make sure nothing spawns inside at night. Had a few problems, had a couple of creepers spawn over by my cats. I'd like to make a few adjustments to the field because the snow was building up here, allowing spiders to actually crawl in underneath. So we've had to retweak our idea a little bit, and I have noticed there is one tiny problem with using our 8 medium voltage generators for our force field. Now, leaving it on all during the day it's all fine, well and good. As you can see, force power is slowly increasing without draining much of the power there. However, I've noticed if you leave it on at night, it does take a little while sometimes to restart. I'm not sure if that's a bug or not, or if it's just the fact that we need more power. If we need more power, I think we have to step it up away from our medium voltage arrays and move this, or not move this so much, but move where we get our power from this. To that end, I've been preparing downstairs a little bit for our new devices. As you can see here, we've got some more project tables. Now, project tables, as you can see here, quite simply, is smooth stone at the top with a crafting bench in the middle, chest surrounded by wood. And of course, as we know, gives us a little crafting tank and a little buffer so that we can hold materials, so it's slightly easier to automatically craft stuff. Now, first off, when building nuclear bunkers and stuff like that, we normally need more advanced stone, because, or at least material, a little bit more stronger blast resistant material, because if we try and build a nuclear reactor and somehow it decides to go kablooey, kaboom, how's your father, however you want to say it, normal stone's just not going to cut it. I mean, we've all seen what happened at the creeper statue. Bloody creepers. That was leveled, and I'm guessing they probably had some nice nuclear surprise waiting for me there. So you can see the kind of damage it can do. So to that end, we need to make what's known as reinforced stone. Now, reinforced stone is smooth stone surrounded by advanced alloy. You get 8 for every one of these, and as you can see here, we're going to get a full stack of advanced alloys. So we're going to get a damn lot of reinforced stone, which is going to be good for our reactor. And I don't believe, nope, it doesn't have a EMC value, so we do have to build it step by step. Now, as you can see, we can't really store a reactor very well here, so to that end, created a hidden entrance. Aha, now this could be a problem. As you can see here, I haven't calculated my distances quite right, have I? Which means to that end, I do believe we're going to have to make the bottom of the reactor floor here. So we are going to be a little bit closer than perhaps I would like. Bad judgment on my part. So this is what you get preparing to do something and not testing to make sure that it's 100% perfect when you do. As you can see, this is going to take a damn bit of time to actually get through. I've had to seal off a few caves. Let's check. Okay. So at least the bottom half of this should be contained. So we won't have a gaping hole underneath our house. So that's going to be useful. Right, so we shall only have this particular layer. One thick. We then need to start thinking about the internal diameter. Now, normally a single row of stone like this will quite successfully deflect most, I would say, medium-sized nuclear explosions. I'm not 100% sure how you can have a medium-sized nuclear explosion, if I'm perfectly honest. But shall we get our reactor assembled, bring it down here, and then start worrying about final placements? So we shall come up, close that off for now. So the first component in our reactor is going to be our actual reactor, our nuclear reactor itself, which, as you can see here, missing two key components at the moment, but it's advanced alloys surrounded by, well, advanced circuits, top and bottom, with a generator in the middle, and advanced alloys around the outside. We also need two components here, which are the reactor chambers. Now, to get the reactor chambers, we need to have a machine block surrounded by integrated reactor plating and advanced alloy. And again, we're missing one very key component. I'm having trouble at the moment with IC2 recipes. Not wanting to come up in NEI because I've updated a couple of the mods, and so IC2 recipes are no longer coming up. So I'm having to do this all pretty much from memory, especially when I'm recording. So the component that's missing from our reactor, reactor chamber, is a integrated heat disperser, which is an advanced circuit. A lot of advanced circuits. Thank God I got this set up for the basic circuit. Some copper, coolant cells, which, if you remember from when we're making the overclockers way back in episode like 7 or 8, or even further back, I can't remember exactly. They are simply water cells, which are empty cells with a water source block in it. Thrown into an extractor gets you a coolant cell. Now, if you remember, the coolant cells don't stack, which is a pain in the arse. And again, our integrated reactor plating. Now, the integrated reactor plating is simply alloy, advanced alloy surrounded by copper, gets us one integrated. So we're going to need two of these, and if you remember, they don't stack. I do believe we're actually going to need 4 of them. So we'll place all 4 here. As you can see, we now have our reactor chamber. Now we need 2 for the initial build. So we need 2 for our initial build here. Now you can add up to 6 reactor chambers onto the outside of your reactor to make larger GUI interfaces, so you can stack more complex and readily available uranium, etc, etc, etc. So I do believe we now want to make, as you can see, we've got quite a few reactor plating. I think, to be fair, may have made too many, so we'll store them off to one side for now. Head over to our little recycling bit there for some coolant cells. So our coolant cells go into here. Perfect. So we need a few more of them. So we're going to need, so we'll take 1 and 2 of them. And we're going to need some integrated heat dispersers, as well as our reactor itself. As you can see here, we've got the thing there. I think I made that wrong. I was meant to put the reactor chambers there, but it's okay. We'll come back and we'll put the recipe up later. Alright, so I don't tend to use... problem with project tables, if you shift click, it will bring everything, including the items actually up in the recipe block itself, which can be a pain in the ass when you've got single use items like this. So we're going to need to get a couple more of them. I do believe we're going to go into our alchemical bed here. I've still got a few bits here. Shall place all these extra bits we don't need quite yet here. As you can see, it's already turning to night time. Alright, so for now we need a 11, and I have some of them upstairs. Here. Lever. Couple of levers. Because if you apply a redstone signal to our generator, bang, 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 no more reactions. So it makes the reactor safe to use. Alright, so we're going to need just a little bit of dirt. Just for our initial placement. Okay, we come down, and into our reactor. For now, just place that there, and that there. Okay, so we do have a center block. Good. So our first job is to place our nuclear reactor. Look at that. And as you can see here, we've got a little GUI. Now you can put the coolant cells, you can put the reactor plating that we made, you can put the integrated heat dispensers, and each one deals with different amounts of heat. The reactor housing itself has a certain whole temperature. I think it's 10,000 for the first one, and then each reactor chamber adds an additional 10,000, or sorry, an additional 1,000 to take it up to 16,000 in total. I think at about 8,000 heat, any water source blocks touching this evaporate. I think beyond that, I think about 12,000, any blocks touching the water, well, the water blocks themselves then start turning into stuff like lava. And then at that point, you've pretty much got a nuclear disaster on your hands, because the reactor is about to kind of go kabloomy. And as you can see, I've added the 2 reactor chambers, and as you can see, we've got additional bits there and there. Now, everyone has their own specific ways of setting up a reactor chamber, and I'm hoping the way I'm going to set mine up will be very effective. Unfortunately, I'm going to need some more of bloody zombies coming into my house. Bloody zombies. No manners for the living. They were once living once. Alright, so we grab some more coolant cells. Come back over. Remember, we need some of these. Alright, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 more for that. So we're going to need, so you've got all the reactors platings there. Got the 4 there. Okay. I tend to not use reactor actual plating in my reactors themselves. I tend to find to use the integrated heat disperser and coolant cells, because the reactor platings themselves only add extra whole temperature, whereas if you are using reactors that are overheating quite a lot, you can have complicated systems to turn them on and off and timing and everything, but I'm going to make what's known as a Mark 1 reactor, which is considered a safe reactor. So it can run for a whole cycle, which is using uranium cells and completely depleting them in a single pass. So as you can see, adding that. Now, the coolant cells themselves have a certain life, and they cool for a certain amount. I can't remember exact numbers off the top of my head. The integrated heat dispersers disperse it into either the hole itself or to the 4 sections surrounding it. So it'll pass more heat onto there, which will pass it onto there. That will pass it onto there. So it disperses heat out equally among all the blocks touching it. Now I'm not 100% sure this will actually be 100% safe. As you can see here, we're leaving space in the middle. I will finish off the reactor design here without the uranium in it, and then we shall look at finishing off our little reactor room. And I'll be right back. And welcome back. As you can see here, our little nuclear bunker section is now more or less complete. Get rid of that last torch. As you can see here, we have the glowstone with the reinforced glass, giving us a nice luminescent fill down here. So you've got our MFSU hooked up to our relay. Now this won't cause too much of a backdraft this way, however there is enough reinforced stone here to hopefully cause a little bit of a to not cause too much of a problem if we do have an explosion. We have our MFSU set to emit if full, which means as soon as this fills up, that will send a signal back to the reactor, and then the reactor will shut off as and when we're ready for it. Now there is another way of shutting down the reactor, so we'll be looking into that probably next episode now, ways of monitoring and maintaining this without having to actually come all the way down here. We then need to just make our cables now. Now as you can see in here, after reviewing the several applications and methods and stuff you can use online to try and figure out the best reactor setup, the complete total output, everything like that. Now this way here left us with 6 areas there of nothing. Now the only things that would work would be the integrated heat dispersers. So I added some more in there, which then increases our cycle time to 3 complete cycles. So these components will last for nearly 3 complete cycles using 4 uranium cells in each. So let us head back up top, turn our off, and now we need the uranium cells. See here, I've been starting to stockpile uranium. I've even gotten some uranium blocks. So we're going to need 4 uranium and going to need 4 empty cells. Now to get uranium cells like that, you need to combine your refined uranium, so it's from the uranium ore into the compressor, gets our refined uranium into empty cells, gets us our uranium cells. Now uranium cells do not stack, quite annoyingly. So we also now need our cable. Now the cable that comes out, the fibre optic cable, sorry, the fibre optic cable that we normally use normally doesn't cut high voltage or extreme voltage. Now normally what comes out of a reactor is, whoa, little git decided to try and surprise me in my own house. Problem with living next to basically a quite tainted area, they do spawn in here for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. The light levels in here should be more than high enough. As you can see there, the BL number. Needs to be, I think, at like 6 spawn. I'm not sure whether the Thorncraft slimes or the wisps are a different one. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the glass fibre cable I believe only takes up to 512. I'm not 100% sure if it does take 2048. 2048 I believe. Now for that we need our refined iron. To get some rubber. I lost the painting in that process. Not cool, Mr. Slime, not cool. I like my paintings. Alright, so we place our refined iron in the crafting bench and we get HV cable. Now, we combine that with rubber, we get insulated. As normal, we get 2 times insulated. If we... I'm going to need a little bit more rubber than that. Perfect. Now if we combine it with rubber after we get the 2 times insulation, we get... Well, the game says it's 4 times, it's actually 3 times. It's a typo that they've yet to fix. Now this cable should be enough to handle all the voltage we have. I'm not 100% sure since IC was updated. It's been a while since I've actually mucked around with the reactor setups. Just to be on the safe side, we shall add our manual shut off there for now. And as you can see, this is a very, very, very thick cable. See, we go down to our input side. Now I need to go and place our uranium ore. As you can see, it's starting to heat up, which means our manual one didn't work. As you can see, it's generating quite a lot of power. Alright, that didn't seem to work for some reason. Could be because it's connected to this as well. As you can see, it's all nicely working. They do take damage over time. That means we now have the ability to generate enough we are going to need one of them anyway. Generate enough power for our upgrades. As you can see, this thing is filling up very, very quickly. So we shall create our link card. And hopefully it should be day by now. If it is, nope, it's not. Our force field's not currently on, but it does look like it's either just becoming day. Yes, it looks like it's just becoming day. See, our force field is now on. Right, so if we take the link card for this one out, put the link card for that, and as you can see now, it's not generating anything. Which means we're going to need to add our range upgrades. Make all 3. See, it's just a frequency transmitter surrounded by advanced alloy. Advanced alloy is a very prominent item. See, we are now... The force field's not keeping up. Reactor's not keeping up, sorry, with the generation while it's 16, 24, 32, here we go. So it should now start to generate more power. I think we can get rid of that link card. Whoa. Put it in here for emergencies, just in case the reactor does ever decide to go critical on us. Now the next thing we're going to need to try and figure out is see if we can create these reactor. We need electrolyzed water cells surrounded by advanced alloys. Now I've got some of these. Had them sparely lying around. Very useful. See here? All still nicely going. Now we do have a way of monitoring our reactor. But currently we are starting to get towards the end of this episode, so shut down our reactor hatch. Actually, when in doubt, let us have a quick look at our electrolyzed water cells. So we're going to need 3 of them. We then do that, do that, do that. And then we get our upgrade generators. You can see distance is spreading still slowly. Means eventually we are going to start having problems with that if we don't die from creepers or anything else until then. So let us head back down to our underneath base. I hate ladders in the Swift Wolf, it doesn't work properly. Trying to do the Macarena on the... Alright. Now each specific upgrade adds a significant amount more storage. So we shall leave that to store up and then come back to that hopefully. Or we'll come back to that next episode and we'll create a power and reactor status system so we can judge just how well our so I get distracted out by nothing, so we can judge just how well we're actually going to do with our reactor. Sorry, ignore all that. So we can monitor our reactor, see how good we get with our economy, well, the economy of it and everything else. So I think we are getting close to the wrapping up point. Yep, fairly close. Slightly shorter episode than normal, but got the important things done. We've got a nuclear reactor now in our base, well, in our sub basement. All nicely protected and generating enough force power now for our reactor. So we'll turn off that. Was kind of creepy, wasn't it? What the hell was that sound? Aha. Dormic slime destroying what was our farm that we've not used in ages. Okay, so this is definitely a good wrapping up point after that little spooky bit. A quick test to make sure force field works. Seems quite similar to the way the Atlantis shield works, sort of bottom up. So yes, Shield is all ready. And we've now got a significantly more powerful source. So I think we are now officially ready for whatever the creepers have to throw at us. Till next time, take care.